I spent half a year in Japan performing magic, realized I was done with magic for that point in my life. I didn't want to do that anymore. I realized I didn't want to stand on stage every night at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday and say the same thing. And I took the money I had and kind of just took a year off. And I would go to I was living in Orlando at that time. I would go to the Orlando Public Library and I'd check out every biography I could, Steve Jobs, Walt Disney, anything and everything I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept trying to find myself. I kept trying to find the blueprint, kept trying to find the blueprint,
Yeah.
for what do I need? Who do I need to follow?
Right.
And, and it's going to be cliched. And, a 12-year-old could tell you, guess what? It's not in there. You have to write it yourself. And that was the truth. And I think that often we look at successful writers and other people in the pattern they followed and say, oh, this is the pattern I have to follow.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. And even I've looked at other successful people and realized that like sometimes their patterns look similar and you find out they're very different. I learned this in magic because I go like, how did David Copperfield become famous versus Doug Henning versus Penn and Teller versus David Blaine? And they
Mm-hmm.
all had these, and their paths were often dependent upon the state of the art of the time.
Mm-hmm.
David Copperfield came up in a time when the TV special was super big, and Doug
Mm-hmm.
Henning, uh, came out first. He did a stage show in Canada, then it made it way to Broadway back when Broadway was super experimental, and he did that, and then that got him a variety show, then that. And then you go to David Blaine in the era when people were like sensitive to the special effects and stuff. So it was, it was kind of like pre but reality TV style. And you just sort of see that. And for writers, it's the same thing, is that, the next Stephen King isn't going to follow the same formula that Stephen King followed.
Right. Yeah. Right.